It's getting nowhere near the publicity of the 2010 Olympics, even though it's attracting nearly 3 times the number of athletes to Vancouver. Deb's here now with News Hour Inside. Deb?
Yes, Tony, we're talking about the World Police and Fire Games, which are coming to Vancouver at the end of July. So far, more than 10,000 firefighters and police officers from 55 countries are signed up, compared to the 3,500 or so athletes for the 2010 Olympics. You may not have thought too much about these games, but it is a massive event that will have a major impact on the city. Here's Robin Stickley.
Girl, take it out of there.
You won't see any medals given out for these events at the Games in 2010. Drug-sniffing dogs competing against the clock. A bucket and ladder brigade working like a well-oiled machine. Or a blood, sweat and tears tug-of-war. No, not the Olympics, but the World Police and Fire Games are no slouch. The Games are the biggest event Vancouver will host this year.
It's a great whole series because this is one of the largest sporting events there is in the world. And you're here, you're competing against world-class players.
Can you put over the windows?
Organizers are pulling off a small logistical miracle, bringing more than 10,000 athletes together from every continent except Antarctica to compete in 64 different sporting events.
What I was saying is, don't you just want to start on the right side?
It works out to 210 events every day, held in venues between Chilliwack and Pemberton.
Yeah, okay, as long as we get that done.
You know, these games were actually selected long before the Olympics ever were selected to Vancouver, so it's been a long time coming, and I think it's great that the timing's actually worked out that we're going to be hosting them in a bit of a down economy.
With thousands of athletes and their families touching down at Vancouver International Airport, the Police and Fire Games are being seen as a dry run for the Winter Games.
There's 3,000 volunteers that are working the games. Many will work during 2010 as well. It's a good test for security. It's a good test for the airport. There are many things that we'll learn as a hospitality community in advance of next year's Olympic Games.
And then, of course, there's the unofficial event at the Games. This competition is famous for the social scene it brings to any city. Granville Island Brewing is getting in on that action. The company has slapped a badge on its original lager as a fundraiser for the Legacy Fund.
It's a camaraderie thing for the fire and police and people to come together and meet people from around the world. So hopefully our beer can be a part of that social activity.
Well, the beer may run out, but there's no shortage of competitive spirit between these two longtime rivals.
The games against the firefighters will be interesting, but I'm sure we'll be able to take them.
Probably doesn't get very competitive, though, hey?
No, not at all. No. We'll be gunning for them.
This is a medal that we've won so many medals with the fire department. Police department, I don't think, can match this. We've won so many medals in the past that we actually melted them down and made one great big one.
Starting July 31st, you'll need to pick a side, fire or police. Whoever you're cheering for, the events are all family friendly. And the best part, they're also free.
Looks like fun. When you take a closer look at the numbers, you can see what a major undertaking these games are. As we mentioned, there are going to be more than 10,000 athletes from 55 countries. The Police and Fire Games include more than 60 sporting events, everything from fishing to decathlon to wrist wrestling, to the gross grind as well. The most popular sport, though, is hockey, and there are 150 hockey teams participating. Those events will take place in about 50 separate venues. During the course of the games, they're going to hand out 2,100 gold medals. And this is the second time that the games have been held here. They also came to Vancouver in 1989, and this is the first time ever that the international organizing body has gone back to a location for a second time. And as we said, it all gets underway 1 month from now. July the 31st is the opening day, and the opening ceremonies will be at GM Place. Tony, that's tonight's Insight.